Hi everyone, welcome to this video review. This is on the final two figures from Paradise Lightning Collection Wave 12. If you guys haven't watched my previous video, Wave 12 consists of these two figures along with Damon, the Green Ranger from Power Rangers Last Galaxy, and Kira, the Yellow Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I actually got Adam yesterday, but I did have Wild Force Blue Ranger for a very long time. It's just I already had four figures for the review. I didn't want to do a fifth one because the running time would have been quite long. So that's why I thought I'll leave Wild First Blue Range for a different review. And thankfully, I got Black Adam yesterday. So it works out perfectly doing both reviews at once. So unfortunately, Wave 12 is the last wave where they issue these classic boxes. I love it. I love the window. And with Hasbro, I think it's crucial to have the plastic because they have so many inconsistencies with paint issues and so forth. So it's always good to have the window so you know which figure you're getting and you can like choose so you know that you're not getting a figure with paint defects. Like for instance, I was at a GameStop and I saw the Wild Force Blue Ranger and I almost got it, but luckily I saw like those like black paint smudges on his leg, and the Max civilian head just looked really off. So the winter really did but I understand government regulation and all. So anyway, so I love the Black Mighty Morphin Ranger because I don't know if you guys noticed, we had two actually three figures, but first two figures were of Zack, the regular Black Ranger, and Black Ranger with the Green Ranger shield. But I don't know what they did with the helmet. The helmet looks so hideous. It was way too oversized, and they got the visor all wrong, and he stood out like a sore thumb. I hate that helmet with a passion. So when I got Black Adam, I love his helmet. They got it so accurate. The Black Ranger looks so beautiful. Let me show you guys the back of the box. Now, Black Ranger comes with this unique weapon. From what I've heard, it's a weapon that appeared on one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV shows. I mean, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers seasons, of course, it's a TV show. I don't know why I said that. But you say Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers seasons. I don't know the context of it because it's been a while since I watched any Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episodes. And this I do not remember, so I'm pretty sure if you're a diehard fan, you would remember what this is. So unfortunately, he doesn't come with the power axe, but if you have any of the three Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Black Rangers that were released, you can easily use one of those power axes with this figure here. And he comes with three blade blasters, one closed off for the holster, a gun, and in blade mode. That's the special weapon I was talking about. He has two additional hands for the figure. Here's Wild First Blue. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the figure because for some reason, I'll show you more in depth when I open up the box. But they made the top of the helmet very pronounced and it's sticking out too much. And because of that, the visor looks like it's very like it's pushed in. So it looks kind of weird. And also it looks way too thin. But we'll get into that once I open the figure. It comes with this crystal saber, and it's hard to see because the box is covering it. It comes with these two shark fin weapons. They did a great job on Max as well. I really like the Max head. Here's the figure, and it's holding the two shark fins. So there you have it, the last two classic boxes. I'm so gonna miss them. And here's what both figures look like out of the packaging. And I must say again, I'm in love with the Black Ranger helmet. They finally fixed him and did him right. And one thing to note with this specialized weapon is that it's very flimsy. So you have to be careful when you're putting it on the figure. This black part here. And Adam's hand is very like very closed up, and I mean it's like pretty much like this. And with this being flimsy, it's kind of hard to put it on his hand. So be careful that you don't end up breaking the weapon. He comes with these two fist hands. Honestly, I feel like the fist hands are so generic. They should just stop and give us more like unique hands so you can do more with it. Here's the standard blade blaster. And here's the Black Ranger Adam. Looks awesome. Hopefully my camera will fix it soon. The camera is a bit weird. Sometimes it focuses on its own, other times it just refuses to. No? Okay, there we go. It actually fixed itself. And that's what it looks like. I've always loved Adam's and this is the other two weapons I forgot. It's the closed up blade blaster and the blade blaster in its blade mode. And here's the Adam head. He looks awesome. One thing I love about Adam's head is that we already have three different versions, and all three look almost the same, but they always manage to like put some kind of difference to the head that it's pretty awesome, even if it's just changing the skin tone. And here's the variants of for Max. You have the Max head. They did a great job. Max's hair is actually shorter than the TV show. I guess they went to the actor what he looks like now because he does have short hair now. It comes with this effect piece. He comes with these arms. I love the Wild Force arms. They do all these unique poses, and they also do have claws that come out of their gloves. And I love the shark fin weapons. It's something very different. And it's strange because it does have the tabs for the jungle sword or whatever they call their combined weapon, but I don't think it can form it. The actual figures of the here, let me show you guys what I was talking about earlier. As you can tell, see the top is really sticking out and it's very pronounced. I don't know why they did that. And here's the crystal saber. I wish they had made this blue inside because the crystal sabers were the respective ranger. The crystals were their respective ranger colors. It would have been nice if they had at least colored it in blue. And that's what those figures look like. And honestly, they're amazing. And I guess you guys can already tell my favorite is already Adam. Let's check out their articulation. So we have that the same chest articulation of wall, right? Black Adam. As you can hear, is very stiff. You can move the arms from side to side, up, down, by the elbow, the glove, remove the helmet. Just be very careful when you get these figures new. Like, do not force it too much because you don't want to end up breaking it. There have been stories of people breaking their lightning figures. And side to side, up, down, by the knee, you have like a double articulation. Rotate the boot. And also like play around with their foot. Even the chest, you can put it inside or out. These figures have really amazing articulation. I love it. I'm not gonna go over blue because he has the same exact articulation. Honestly, I feel like Hasbro should reissue us new Black Ranger helmets for the two Zack figures. This is what they look like. They look awesome. So you guys won't believe what happened. I was gonna switch the head for Adam's civilian head, so I can show you guys him along with his other season 2/3 characters. And look what happened. It uh, it broke off. I've heard of this happening, but it's never ever happened to me. The 2, 3 years we've had the Lightning collection. I was so bummed, but thankfully Amazon said they'll give me a new one. So for the time being, I'm gonna use the season one Zack figure because it's pretty much the same figure. So the two figures. So I figured out what went wrong with the season one helmet versus the new helmet. First, it's the lack of white paint on the helmet, and second, so you can see like the features are more spread out on the helmet versus season one where it seems to be squashed in. So that's why the helmet stands out so horribly. So I guess we finally figured out what went wrong with the helmet. And this is what they look like. I want to show you guys comparison of both helmets. You guys can tell that little white paint that they missed really does a big difference. So I'm glad they included it this time around. So for the regular non-metallic Mighty Morphin Rangers or special Rangers or additional Rangers, we have three or replacement ranges. I don't know what term you guys use. I mean, it's weird because it's like season two and season three. This cat came in season three, but the Aisha head is, if I remember correctly, is from season two. Because I remember Aisha had those long braids in season three, and Adam is interchangeable. He looked the same in season two and three. So we have three so far. So we're most likely gonna get a Rocky in a regular suit, and maybe even a Billy in a regular suit. And I it's weird how they're not showing Kimberly any love because I would love to see another season three Kimberly because she did really look quite different, and there was something about her. She was very she finally came into her own in season three. And so yeah, I would love to have another Kimberly head. The one we got didn't really do her too much justice. So this is what they look like. And also, I want to show you guys something I did. I always loved the Go Cager female Tiger Ranger. So I got some yellow ribbon, and it's not the best, but I did like a because I have two yellow rangers. I did like a Gokai change Yellow Ranger. I really love the skirt because it is not the best, of course, like as you can tell me to compare it to pink. But I love how she looks just like pink, and it looks so really nice with the skirt on. But yeah, I just thought I'll just show you guys. One thing I did notice though, and it happened with pink and yellow, I feel like season one, Mighty Morphin Rangers, the helmets were like the testers. And then for these extra ranges, they finally got the small detailing correctly. So we got a beautiful Pink Ranger helmet. And we got a really nice Yellow Ranger helmet. Let me try to remove this from the figure. Because season one Yellow Ranger helmet, I didn't really care for. There was something about it that was off. Even Pink Ranger's helmet was not curved. It was more like it's a bit boxy on the edges, so it kind of looked off. Yes, so I'm pretty sure for Rocky's helmet, we'll get the same helmet that came with the swappable gender pack, the from the Boom comics. And Billy, I think Billy did it pretty much a good job with the helmets. I don't think there's too much to improve on that. So anyway, so these are the Rangers, and I'll show you guys comparison with the Black Legacy figure. Let's compare Legacy and Lightning. As you all know, there have been many depictions of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in figure form. We have like the automorphing figures from the early 1993, and then we had those oversized karate chop figures. You had so many to even list, but I just have these figures here, the Legacy figure to compare. We also had like 5-inch Legacy figures. I don't have those anymore. I ended up selling them because I don't know, those figures were too small. Yet the Legacy figures were way too big. Lightning is like the perfect size for me. So, yeah, so this is what they look like. And I love the helmets on the Legacy figures. They're so accurate, they're so beautiful, full of details. But the actual figure itself is way too big. And I don't know if you guys remember for Mighty Morphin, for blue, pink, and black, they really dropped the ball by putting the wrong belt color on them, which was very inexcusable. To talk about Mighty Morphin, there's like so many illustrations of them everywhere. There's no reason that they should have gotten silver belts. Not just Mighty Morphin, any toy for that matter. If you're gonna be putting them out in the market, they should not be having any paint defects because you need to research your product properly and make sure they look accurate. So these are the two figures, and honestly, Lightning takes the cake. I love Lightning. But if Lightning had Legacy's helmet, I feel like Lightning would be so perfect. But yeah, so that's what the two figures look like. And we'll look at the backs of these figures. So it's pretty much the same. And one thing I never liked about the Legacy figures is that the holster came separate. So the holster easily falls off, and I always hated that because it's so easy to misplace the holster. And yeah, so that's Legacy versus Lightning. Oh, also, as you all know, Lightning figures they did not come with their signature weapons. As far as the MMPR Lightning figures were concerned, they only came with their Blade Blaster in holster mode, which you couldn't really do anything with, which was so stupid. Like, yeah, in the weapons department, it was pretty bad as well. So Lightning gets a point for that too, because Lightning really went out with some of the weapons. I seem to be having the worst luck with this review. So I had it all set to be posted on the 23rd, and I found out that half the video had no sound whatsoever. I don't know what happened. So here I am re-shooting the second half of the video. It's funny because the first time around it broke the head, and the second time around, no audio. So I have the three Black Ranger variations. I only put the original Black Range. Like I didn't put any metallic or anything because I just want to include the solid color Black Rangers, if that makes any sense. So please make note, the one in the middle is actually the new figure. I put the old helmet on there because it's very loose on the new figure. Because I'm starting to have the same exact problem I had with the first figure. The helmet is that it came with is very tight. when I go to remove it, it really twists a lot. It feels like the knob is also twisting with it, and it feels like it's gonna come. I'm gonna break off the knob again, so I'm not taking that chance. So put the new helmet on the older Black Ranger figure, and the new one, or sorry, put the new helmet on the older Black Ranger figure, and the old helmet on the newer Black Ranger. With the old helmet is bit big for this figure, so it moves around too much. So there's no chance of anything happening. Only reason I did that is because it took a while for me to get the little tab out of the helmet, because it's a really nice helmet. I wanted to use it again, and I didn't want the same little tab breaking off and getting stuck again. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's look at the three figures. So we have the Black Ranger with the shield on the far right, the middle, the new figure, and the far left, we have the first edition Black Ranger. Again, please take note that the helmets have been switched for um pretty much all of them. The helmets are switched. Like the one on the far right and the far left, it has the new helmets that Adam came with because I feel like they're more accurate. It brings out the figure a lot more than the older helmets. And the middle figure, the new one, has the old helmet. So one thing to take note is they're morphers. So the one in the middle and the far right have the correct details with the red circle around the morpher. But the one on the far left, one here, does not have that small detail. And one thing I also notice, again, it could just be my eyes playing tricks on me. The diamonds on the gloves on the new Black Ranger seem to be a little bit fatter than the other two Black Rangers. So those are the only things I've noticed. Oh, and the white also is more white and cleaner on the new figure than the older figures. The white looks a bit off white. So again, I don't know if it's due to age or if it's just my eyes playing tricks on me again. But yes. So regarding the Black Ranger, we've had five different variations of this figure. So we have the metallic Black Ranger, the fourth figure, and then the fifth figure being the Ninjetti figure, which I do not have, and I refused to get them for $45 a piece. They're just crazy. But yes, we've had five depictions of the Black Ranger, which is pretty cool. Now, with Mighty Morphin out of the way, let's head on to Power Rangers Wild Force. It's kind of sad with Power Rangers Wild Force because we're just starting out, so we only have two figures so far. We have the Luna Wolf figure, which was released not too long ago, actually, and the Blue Ranger figure. So there's a third figure that's coming out in the next wave, or actually, yeah, next wave, which is wave 13, a putrid figure. And that's the foot soldier from Wild Force. I don't know if I want that figure or not. I still haven't decided. I love the big baddies like Astronema, Rita, hoping we get Rancid, Master Org, Diva Talks, and all those people. But foot soldiers and Monsters of the Day I've never been huge on. So Lunar Wolf is a little bit of a funny figure because they released a first version, which is this figure here. And what they did was they got the boots the wrong color, which they painted white the first time around. And the chest stripes on the left were five instead of six. Luckily, Hasbro noticed this and released a more accurate figure. And you don't have to worry about getting the wrong figure because everywhere I have been so far, they have the new accurate figure with the silver boots. You don't have to worry about that. But what's funny is they never fixed the missing holster, which would have been actually this figure would have been perfect if it had the holster. And yeah, and that's all we have for Wild Force. There's really not much to say. And let's see what Merrick and Max looks like out of their helmet. Here's Max and Merrick. I love them, and I really hope they do the other Wild Force Ranger civilian heads to this quality, because Max and Merrick they look like the actual Rangers, and I love it. I love Merrick more because it's more accurate to the TV show. I love Max's head because it resembles the actor right now because the one in the TV show had longer hair. But yes, so this is what they look like. And honestly, I hope down the line Hasbro thinks of an easier way to swap the heads because some of these figures, like the Max figure, I really had to jam the head in to try and get it to fit in. It's such a chore, and I hate how nervous I feel now because I already had the Black Ranger figure break on me. It's like I'm so nervous. I'm like, am I gonna break this figure too? So it's like it shouldn't do that, especially for a figure where you spend almost $30 on. But yeah, so that's what they look like. They look amazing. They did a great job. So here I have the early 2000s blue Wild Force figure and the Lightning figure. It's really funny because everything on the early 2000s figure seems to be a bit oversized, like the weapons and the holster and the crystal saber. While on the Lightning figure, the shark fins are and the crystal saber are a little bit tiny for the figure size. And honestly, I have to give big props to the older vintage figure because they went all out with the big shark fins and the really detailed crystal saber. And I feel like the holster is more accurate on the 90s figure versus the Lightning figure. So let's check out the weapons. I'm just gonna take out one shark fin because they're pretty much the same, the both pairs. Oh yeah, of course. In the 90s, figures went all out by making sure you could combine the weapons. This was true for Power Rangers in Space, Turbo, Time Force, and Wild Force. Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder. Yeah, and Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder actually had that in a different way. So you had to get a different set of figures if you wanted the Z-Rex blaster. So anyways, let's get the shark fins. This is the 90s figure. They put this extra detailing in, and it's really nice and oversized. This one looks kind of cheap compared to the 90s version. I'm so sorry to say it, but it's true. It's funny because the 90s version was a $10 figure versus the Lightning figure, which is like 30 bucks. So considering also the emblem on this figure here is so much more detailed. I don't know which one's more accurate, if it's the one with the white backdrop or the one with the blue backdrop. So here you have it. I'm I'm not a fan of the early 2000s figure because for Wild Force they gave them the action feature. So he has like two tabs here, one tab here, and one over here. This is for like a kick action. This one here, when you put both shark fins, it looks like it's like a cutting action. One thing why I do not like these action features is because it makes the figure look really weird. Like look at this figure. Can't even get the leg properly. It's like got some mind of its own and it takes away articulation. I never cared for action feature figures. But for a figure of its time, Bandai did great because got all the amazing accessories and also you could combine them and the paint jobs were pretty amazing. I want to show you guys the crystal saber. I love 90s crystal sabers from these figures because they did a really good job. You're gonna laugh when you see the two different comparisons. Look at how cheap the crystal saber looks. The one with the lightning figure. You would think that this came with the 90s figure. I'm gonna try and come even closer. Not focusing, I don't know why. But then look at the 90s figure. Not only do they have the blue in the center to show us the Blue Ranger's crystal saber, but they put metallic silver on the blade to make it more realistic. And the darker gold looks amazing. And look at how much more bigger it looks. This is such a joke compared to the 90s weapon. And I love the holster, how the crystal saber just like fits into it really snug compared to the lightning figure version. One thing I also noticed is that the gold rims on the glove and the boots have like a black detailing on the top and the bottom, which the lightning figure does not have. I actually do not have a Wild Force picture as reference, so I can't really tell if that's how it's supposed to look or not. But yeah, so with detailing too, like 90s or the early 2000s figure really went all out. I do apologize if kept saying 90s at one point. I'm referring to the same figure because I'm so used to saying the 90s Bandai figures that it just rolls out of my tongue just like that. There you have it, the Bald First figure comparison. We finally reached the end of the review. Let's hope this review does not give me any more issues and I'm able to post it. Because to be honest, I've checked out and I'm done with this review. It gave me so much problems. So feedback, the Black Ranger is just no. Like Hasbro needs to release a brand new Black Ranger with a steady peg on its neck that is not gonna break because apparently it's an ongoing issue with these Black Ranger figures. And I'm really hoping the new one I got from the US is more sturdy and it's not gonna break. As far as accuracy goes, they did a decent job. Blue Wild Force Ranger, they could have worked on a bit more with the helmet. The helmet kind of looks like a rush job. And but the civilian heads, did a remarkable job. Max looks like Max. Adam always looks so flawless. I love the Adam head. Now for the pricing, they're in Canada, I got them for like 35.99. In US, I know the price is like I believe it's 24.99. So that's where you can get it from. And also you can get these figures from Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon. I believe Hasbro Pulse has them. And Entertainment Earth GameStop, I know they should have them as well. Just be very careful with the Black Range. I can't stress that enough. That was such a traumatizing experience. And for those of you who probably missed it or are unaware, these are the last two figures, or I shouldn't say last two, but these are the two figures from Paradise Lightning Collection, Wave 12. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, and today is Christmas, and I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope all your holidays went well and without any problems. And thank you so much for tuning in to my review. And please like, comment, subscribe. It really does help. And that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if I bought anything new for any upcoming reviews. Oh yeah, there is from not, but yeah, Bandai Premium Shodo. They are releasing a set of Die Ranger figures. I'm so psyched. I can't wait to get them because we're due for Die Ranger figures. I mean, there are the vintage Die Ranger figures, but those to get even one, you have to pay an arm and a leg, and it's so hard to find them. So I'm glad we're getting new figures. These will be super tiny, but hey, I'm down because anything Die Ranger I would love. Because the figure arts just dropped red and didn't even bother to look back for the other Rangers, which sucks because figure arts is pretty high quality figures. And yeah, so I think that's it for the review. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day.